Hello, this is Scott Yaruss with yet another in our series of videos for parents of school-age kids who stutter. This one I'm going to call Do's and Don'ts. A lot of times parents are wondering what they can do to help, but another interesting thing about stuttering is that parents have often been told things that they shouldn't do. Often in my field, what we've done is we've told parents what not to do, but we haven't always told them what to do instead. So in this video, I want to talk about some things that are less helpful and how you can replace them with things that are more helpful. Here's something that's less helpful. Focusing on your child's fluency. You've heard me talk about this in other videos. Instead of thinking about how much the child is stuttering right now, think about the child's overall communication. Think about ways to encourage your child to communicate regardless of how fluent he might be in a situation. Because if we think about what's truly successful in communication, it's saying what you want to say, rather than not saying anything at all because you're afraid of stuttering, or saying something that you can think you can say fluently, even if it's not really what you want to or mean to say. So that's one. Here's another one. There are techniques that can help your child enhance his fluency, but very few kids want to be reminded of those when they're doing other things. Think about setting up separate practice times from communication times. And most of your life should be in communication times. But there are still things you can do to practice with your child. So talk to your child about setting up specific practice times when you and he can think about the techniques that he's learning. Think about the strategies that he's learning for communicating freely. Think about how he's learning to change his thoughts and feelings about stuttering. Another thing to do is don't tell him, let him tell you. The child has been in speech therapy in all likelihood, and he's been learning ways of coping more effectively with his stuttering. He has a lot of knowledge about his speech that we want to reinforce. So instead of telling him, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this and that and the other thing, ask him instead, what things are you supposed to do? And give him the opportunity to teach you about his therapy and about his speech and about his communication. This is a good feeling for the child to know that he has enough knowledge to make decisions for himself, that he can be in control of his communication, even if there are times when he can't always be in control of his speech. Help your child be the expert about his speech. That will build his self-confidence, and in building his self-confidence, that will help him to communicate better. Let's see, so far I've had don't focus just on the fluency. I've had don't tell him what to do. I've had don't try to correct him all the time or in other situations. Here's another thing not to do. Don't panic. You've heard me talk about that one before. But what can you do instead of panicking is you can discuss your feelings with your child. It's okay to let him know that you're worried. It's okay to let him know that you're not sure what to do to help him with his speech, because what you'll find is that that gives him the opportunity to share his knowledge with you. That gives him the opportunity to share his confidence with you, and that gives him the opportunity to let you know that he's okay. If he's not okay, we'll talk a lot more about what can be done about that, but for right now on our do's and don'ts list, do give him the opportunity to be in charge for a bit about his speech. It builds his confidence, and the more confidence he has, the easier his communication will become. I'll have a lot more for you soon. My colleague Nina Reeves will have a lot more for you soon. And as always, it's on our website, stutteringtherapyresources.com.